Hi guys, here's Paula and I welcome you to another installment of my smart essery about all things ozone, coming live and direct to you from my pink couch. Do you like horror movies? No? Well, tough luck, because this one will be a little bit of a horror show. I'm intending to scare the living shits out of you, nothing less, and all that for your own good. No, I'm not talking about implementing the Green New Deal, but instead about the risks of ear insufflations. Ear insufflations are something that people often do at home, and in general, home ozone applications are very safe. There's really not all that much that can go wrong, except with ear insufflations. They carry considerable risks, and I think it is very important that you inform yourself about them before you decide to stick that ear scope into your ear or your child's ear. But first, some shameless self-promotion. If you'd like to support me in spreading my vast ozone wizardry throughout the 7 kingdoms and across the narrow sea, you can by going to thepowerofozone.com/donate. To everyone who has donated so far, thank you, Ozone Gang. You know who you are and I love you. The old and the new gods may be with you. So let's get to it. Ear insufflations is something people like to do at home to treat things like brain fog, congested sinuses, suspected infections or inflammation, or worse, anywhere in the head, jaw or neck area. It's not rare to experience a lifted mood and better cognitive function immediately afterwards. But this uplifting experience can often carry a heavy price if done incorrectly. And this is not rare. Adverse reactions to ear insufflations are no exceptions. I estimate that 95 out of 100 people or more will experience one of those side effects. It's just a matter of how often you will do the insufflations and how intensely. For someone who decides to do them on a daily basis, the probability of suffering the adverse effects is essentially 100%. That is, only if you disregard my advice. If, on the other hand, you do follow my suggestions and do ear insufflations correctly, you won't have to suffer, meaning you never get married to Ramsay Bolton, but instead immediately proceed to become Lady of Winterfell. So, what are those adverse effects I am talking about? Risk number 1, debilitating, soul-crushing, brain-numbing, being burned alive by a dragon type of pain. This is the most debilitating occurrence after ear insufflations. How does it come about? Once people start infusing their ears with ozone, what often happens is that the ears start to expel a liquid. It's assumed that it's lymph fluid stimulated by the ozone insufflations. It's also explained as a form of detox. It can result in a severe inflammation and the liquid can cause blockage of the ears. The resulting pain is something absolutely out of this realm. There are a number of people I know who have experienced this and have decided to go to the emergency room. It was that bad. Writhing about on the floor and curling up in the fetal position has also been reported. So this is seriously no joke. That's the bad news. The good news is that it is really all there is. Really bad pain, that's it. So yes, it can be highly uncomfortable, even emotionally scarring, but there never appears to be any lasting damage to the ears, as unlikely as it may sound. What can you do to lessen the pain? First of all, wait. The pain will resolve by itself, but it can take up to 14 days. The average seems to be 10 days. Over-the-counter painkillers may be a good idea and could lessen the inflammation. It is very important that no oxidative therapies are performed in that time, since any form of ozone treatments, even drinking ozonated water, so something that doesn't even directly affect the ear area, could further trigger the detox reaction and allow for an escalation of the pain. Is there a way to prevent the pain? Yes. And it's the same thing to prevent all the other adverse effects. First of all, go very slow. I suggest to not do more than 1 minute 3 times a week. Start with a very low ozone concentration of not more than 5 to 10 micrograms per milliliter. Keep that for several weeks. If there is no pain, no uncontrollable oozing, no itching in that time, increase the ozone concentration slowly every week until you reach 20 to 30 micrograms per milliliter and eventually even 40 to 50. This can take several months. If everything goes fine during that time, you can increase the duration of the ear insufflations by a minute each week. The maximum duration for ozone ear treatments can be 20 to 30 minutes at a time, but it can take you up to a year to reach that. If, in spite of your best efforts, you nevertheless start feeling pain, stop all ozone applications immediately until the pain resolves. Otherwise, the pain will escalate, and you don't want it to escalate. Risk number 2, itching. All the adverse reactions to ear insufflations often appear together to one degree or another. Itching is one of those things. It often appears together with a liquid discharge, which I will mention later, and that again can occur together with the pain. Now, if you hear itching, you may think, no big deal, a little bit of itching, I can take it. I'm a real man, or a real woman, or a real wildling. So you may think, what is a bit of itching if I can completely regenerate my brain with some magical ozone, right? Well, be careful what you wish for. The itching may be so bad that it will not allow you to sleep. Add to it what I'm about to mention in the next point, and you may think you're about to lose your mind. What can you do to stop it? Wait, as usual. Essentially, with everything bad that can happen during or after ear ozone treatments, waiting it out will solve the problem. What can you do to prevent it? See the previous point. Go very slow and low. Risk number 3, liquid discharge. Imagine trying to fall asleep by constantly feeling like something gluey is slowly flowing out of your ears and it's itchy. Something like this can drive you literally insane. And no matter how much you will wipe it away or how much you will scratch it, it won't stop and it won't allow you to sleep. This can cause the worst insomnia and turn your life into hell. What can you do to stop it? Well, once the liquid discharge starts, there is, you guessed it right, not much you can do, except stop all ozone applications and, that's right, wait. Once the discharge stops, you can restart the ear insufflations at a lower ozone concentration and at a shorter duration. What can you do to prevent it in the first place? Start very slow, as described under point number 1, at no more than 1 minute 3 times a week at a very low ozone concentration of 5 to 10 micrograms per milliliter. Risk number 4, tinnitus, or also called ringing in the ears. This can happen if you use an ozone generator which tends to be quite loud, like for example the longevity machines, without using a trap. As presented in my previous video, a trap serves to lessen the noise of the generator that travels through the ear scope. If the noise coming from the generator is really loud, the resulting ringing in the ears can be permanent. That's why using an empty trap is so important. How do you fix that problem? In most cases, the ringing goes away after a few hours. Only in very rare cases can it be permanent. Risk number 5, scabbing. This often comes together with the itchiness. Scabbing after ear insufflations can occur on the outside of the earlobes, even in those places which seemingly didn't get in any direct contact with ozone. The scabs can ooze and itch and bleed if they're scratched, and all in all be an ugly nuisance. But as opposed to the other side effects, they're mostly a cosmetic problem. After the ear insufflations are discontinued, the scabs heal up within days by themselves. You can apply all sorts of oils and creams to give the skin some moisture. This can speed up the healing. That's mostly it, guys. Pain, liquid discharge, itchiness, tinnitus, and scabbing. All fun stuff that can happen during ear insufflations. And it all seems to be some form of detox reaction, since people who have done them long enough report a lessening of those side effects or their complete disappearance. So yes, ear treatments can be highly beneficial, but they often come with a price. In most cases, there's never any permanent damage, but they can significantly ruin your quality of life for some time. And you don't want to risk that, especially now that Game of Thrones season has started again. Imagine wanting to watch the next episode, but instead having to spend your day lying on the floor, crying with indescribable pain, wishing for the Night King to come and end the torture. Now, if you think I exaggerated here and that this sounds really scary, good. This was the plan. Because trust me, I'm not a doctor, so when I say that however bad this sounds, the reality can be even worse. How much worse? Well, imagine what Theon Greyjoy had to go through at the hands of Ramsay Bolton. That's all I'm saying. Valar Morghulis. But it doesn't have to be that bad. You can be Sansa and you can escape the torture. How? As I have described above, start slow and low. Don't do more than 1 minute 3 times a week at very low concentrations, and eventually you will sit on the Iron Throne. If you have experienced things after doing ear insufflations that I forgot to mention here, let me know in the comments below. That's it for now, guys. Stay vigilant, and I hope you enjoyed this little horror episode. Next one will be more uplifting, I promise. Although, in my opinion, keeping it real is actually something totally positive. Take care, keep it pink, and go eat a goddamn steak. Or go ride a dragon. And remember, as always, I'm not a doctor. If you need a doctor, I'm not the right person to talk to. Don't base your medical decisions on my videos.